Donald Trump has just helped coordinate an epic, historic Middle Eastern peace deal between the United Arab Emirates and Israel.
Earth-shattering thing that is happening. Donald Trump facilitated a major Middle Eastern peace deal.
Peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand. I say it.
I've always worked for it. I want to first thank President Trump for his extraordinary efforts to expand peace, to bring peace to Israel and the peoples of the Middle East. Peace has never, the light of peace on this Hanukkah day has never shone brighter than today in the Middle East.
Deal has finally been
the light of peace
in the Middle East for peace.
The first time we've had peace in the Middle East. That's just one.
Peace is the right path forward. Opportunity for the Middle East to be stable and peaceful.
You serious?
دي رام خونا جدعان والله اكبر لا حصل اسمع اسمع الاثنين تعال واحنا قاعدين نتابعوا الشباب ضربتك والله اكبر والله منتصرين تحق لهم سلام انا ودينا للرجمه.
Now, at least 27 people have been killed in an attack on the airport that serves the Yemeni city of Aden, according to local media. They quoted the Yemeni government spokesman, who also said that many more people had been injured. The explosions happened soon after a plane carrying the country's new government touched down.
Is this what China wants as well, for us to get bogged down even more in the Middle East, Mr. Secretary?
Well, you've got to protect your force. You've got to establish deterrence. We did this a couple times. It was effective. I don't know what they struck or what targets they went after. I hope it just wasn't bombs in the desert. I hope it really went after something that threatened the United States of America. If not, it's useless. You don't need to get bogged down there to take an airstrike. I'm confident that we could do it with getting in and getting out. We've got to make sure that we deter the Iranians every place. Weakness and appeasement with the Iranians will only be rewarded with more terror from them.
The First World War is often interpreted as fought between two major alliances, the Triple Entente between France, Britain and Russia, and the Dual Alliance linking Germany and Austria-Hungary. But this oversimplifies the alliances, treaties and agreements that developed throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries and drew the great powers, along with numerous other countries, into war. Between 1887 and 1914, Europe was transformed from a system in which well-balanced forces maintained a delicate equilibrium to one polarized by two hostile alliance networks. In 1887, it was inconceivable that a crisis in Austro-Serbian relations could have led to a continental war, but by 1914, that was exactly what happened.
In recent years, Iran has taken advantage of disruptions in the Middle East to spread its influence. The 2003 invasion of Iraq, the instability resulting from the Arab Spring, the rise of Sunni extremist movements like ISIS, all enabled Iran to advance its military and political goals.
They are forming a land bridge that connects Iran through Iraq to Syria, Lebanon, to the Israeli border at Golan. This is what's called the Shia crisis.
Realizing that they have to shore up their regimes, countries looking forward and realizing that there are actual existential threats, that Israel does not care about Saudi Arabia, does not care about the UAE or Bahrain, is not trying to invade anyone, that Israel just wants to exist in safety and security. Those countries are looking to Iran and going, oh wait, those guys want to take us over. Those guys are interested in harming us. And so they formed a de facto alliance with Israel, and normalized relations were the first step in that sort of de facto alliance. There will be technology sharing, there will be economic sharing.
Saudi Arabia has the third best equipped army in the entire world. Plus, they have the support of American drones and the armies of neighboring countries. They have more than 180 state-of-the-art combat jets and 300,000 soldiers armed with the best weapons. On the other side, they have less than half that number of soldiers, and the weapons they are armed with are far from modern. Now, so this seems like a pretty unequal fight, right? Well, in that case, it might surprise you to learn that Saudi Arabia is losing this war.
Saudi Arabia says prepared for ceasefire in Yemen if Houthis agree.
Don't know that we are fighting the same combat and the same fight for the same values and the same interests.
As the United States.
As the United States. And I think that this is why we were destroyed.
A year ago or less, American officials wouldn't even return your telephone calls. What have they discovered?
I feel, and I must say to be fair, that when we started to be organized, the US have started to understand us more and more. And the more united and the more organized we were, the more the US were giving us a more responsible ear, and they were listening more and more to what we had to say. You are right to say that a few months ago they will even not return my call. I must say that today it's basically a different situation.
The United States government, after years of pretending Jamal did not exist, last year officially invited him to Washington. And America's newfound interest in Jamal is not the only thing that's changed. The moderate Arab powers now apparently see him as Lebanon's last best chance.
And the Lebanese people was in bad situation, in lamentable situation, wanting to get rid of the occupying forces, but was not able to do it alone. And I used always to say that Lebanon needs a miracle to be saved, and this miracle happened now. And thank you very much.
Is to highlight a terrible injustice, a humanitarian crisis. Christians are being systematically exterminated. In 1948, Jews throughout the Middle East faced murder and extermination and fled to the nation of Israel. And today, Christians have no greater ally than the Jewish state. Let me say this: those who hate Israel hate America.
Middle Eastern Christians booed Texas Senator Ted Cruz off the stage after speaking in support of Israel at an event here in Washington. It was sponsored by a group called In Defense of Christians. Cruz was there to speak about Christian solidarity with Israel and standing against terrorist groups like ISIS. But some in the crowd were Palestinian Christian supporters of the Syrian government and even the terrorist group Hezbollah. Our CBN News camera captured what happened next.
Those who hate Israel hate America. My heart weeps that the men and women here will not stand in solidarity with Jews and Christians alike who were persecuted by radicals.
Please respect for dialogue. Respect, please. Okay. We're in America.
If you will not stand with Israel and the Jews, then I will not stand with you. Thank you, and God bless you.
The event was billed as a gathering of Middle Eastern Christian leaders. They were trying to raise awareness about the threat to Arab minorities by Islamic terrorists.
The Shire, Mr. Fertile. It'll be spring soon. The orchards will be in blossom, and the birds will be nesting in the hazel thicket. And they'll be sowing the summer barley in the lower fields, and eating the first of the strawberries with cream. Do you remember the taste of strawberries? No, Sam. I can't recall the taste of food. No, the sound of water. The touch of grass. Naked in the dark. There's nothing. No veil between me and the way of fire. I can see him with my waking eyes. Then let us be rid of it. Once and for all. Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
俺たちは使える人間を間違えた。あやかしの方がクズ星だ。逃げよう。もうこんなところに用はねえ。